One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. So let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Well, we made it to Thirsty Friday, or whatever we call it. It's not Thirsty Friday, but finally Friday. How about that? Great to see everybody. And yes, it's Thirsty Day every day, because that's what we do around here. Hey, everybody, much love, honor, respect, everybody. We got a great lineup for you guys. Kind of a wild morning. The way that I have this titled is FBI raids former Trump advisor John Bolton's home. And yes, that is true. It's his national security advisor, ex-national security advisor, as well as Erik Menendez denied parole and more. But the reason why I put and more is because, as you guys know, we usually have about 6 things going on in the media, and I can't put everything in the title. So we're actually going to be starting off the morning with a whole illegal immigrant truck driver accused of killing 3 people arrives in Florida. So I don't know if he's been extradited back to the United States. I'm not really sure what's happening there. We're going to find that out together. Then we're going to go into Gavin Newsom signs California redistricting plan countering the Texas GOP. We saw that shit coming. Then, of course, the Erik Menendez denied parole for murders of parents, as well as the FBI. We have more updates on the FBI raid on Trump advisor John Bolton's home, as well as the DOJ, as I told you guys earlier in the week on Monday, Tuesday, that the DOJ is to hand over the Epstein files to Congress. What we did hear during the week, though, I believe we reported that yesterday, is that a federal judge denied it. But it sounds like that there is still some files going to be handing over from the DOJ to Congress. So I'm not really sure what that entails. And then we have a huge update regarding now the Associated Press is involved. FBI raids John Bolton's home and office. And the reason why they even started the raid in the very first place was because he wrote a book. And they were saying that he let out some classified information. So they're doing they're actively there right now as we speak. This was 24 minutes ago. So we have everything lined up for you guys. Before we get into the lineup of the morning, before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out immensely, and it's free to do so. If you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe because it's also free. But this is the money part. Please consider becoming a member. Starting at $2.99 a month, we're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody. But check it out. This is the way that we get to go ahead and stay sustainable. And we're 100% funded by you guys. If we relied on money from ads, we'd be dead broke. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. Seriously. Follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news. Great way to get a hold of me one-on-one, by the way. And we also have a community of people in the Discord server Make sure you guys join up on that. It's in the description box of every single video. Make sure you guys join up on the Discord. We're all in there, all of us in the Breakfast Club. We have a great time in there, man. And then, of course, last but not least, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all these things are going to be presented live onto the show. And, of course, shout it out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms that you guys can donate to. And, of course, I will shout them out. And I have my email up, ready to go. So if anything comes through, of course, I will get to it right away. I am prompto on that. All right. Good to see everybody up in here, man. We got Brother Lee up in here, as well as Brother Frank. Good to see you. He was the first one in here. Sick Bastard, my man. Good to see you, as well as Gary. Good morning. Good morning. We got Holy Skunk as well. Good morning to you. We got Moto Bomb, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. We got Path Killer. It's finally Friday. We got TVT up in the building as well, man. Good morning to you, kind sir, up there in Canada. Code TV, my man. Mike Ball and chat, have a great show. I will be listening. God bless and have a great weekend. You too, my man, and I very much appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. You had a great show this morning as well. Another fantastic YouTuber. We got Rabbit of Chaos. Good morning to you. Great to see you. That's right. Hit that like button. Got to hit that like button, man. We got Papa Penguin up in the building as well, man. Good morning to you, kind sir. Good to see you guys. All right, let's see. We got Papa Penguin saying, by the way, good morning. If the FBI is going to start raiding people who discuss classified stuff in books, there's an awful lot of folks who could be up next. Yes, that's very true. Very, very smart observation there. That's for damn sure. If you're going to if you want something to happen to one side, just expect it to also happen to your side. You know what I mean? And absolutely right, Frank. I got you. Don DeMarco. We got Brother Pitbull over there on the over there in the UK across the pond saying, remember to rev that like button and drop the clutch on the share button to wheel spin the clutch on the share. Oh, I see what he did here. He accidentally fucking double typed there, but it's all good. Yes, it does help, and it is free to do so. We got Mount High as well. Good morning to you. Great to see you, man. We got our left-handed tobacco rolled up. As always, we're ready to go. And he does say like button and left-handed tobacco all around. That's right, bro. Yes, and the Discords. You know the Discord's heavy, bro. We got Pitbull over there in the UK sending over £2, man. I love my British pounds, by the way. Thank you for making it rain over here, saying, hope you're okay, my brother, and everyone in chat. Yes, sir. So far, so good. It's finally Friday, right? We got Bliss Chris up in the building. Good morning to you. Good morning. We got Christopher Collins as well. Roll Tide. We got Stephanie as well. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into the madness of the morning. We got our hellos, good mornings in, you know what I mean? Here we go.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox.
We're starting off with this whole illegal immigrant truck driver accused of killing 3 people. I guess he arrives back into Florida earlier yesterday. So I think he got extradited back into the United States.
Drew Kraft. Like I said before the break, have to get to Florida
so
right
loud.
now.
Good morning.
Story I think a lot of you are following here. So take a look at this. Jake Collins, he's the new lieutenant governor there in Florida, saying, today I personally escorted the thug who took the lives of 3 Floridians. Harjinder Singh should never have been in this country, and he never should have been granted a CDL by California.
I agree.
Governor Gavin Newsom's reckless...
You're illegal, but yet we're going to give you some fucking state or federal license. Like, get the fuck out of here. How can you be illegal here, be undocumented, and have a fucking CDL issued to you by the state? Which is California, by the way. Sadly, where I come from, where I was born and raised. Terrible, terrible fucking policies they've got. I mean, it's just unreal what they do over there. They care more about and cater to the illegals than they do to their own fucking people. Oh my God, so brutal.
Policies put communities at risk. And
That's
Florida
right, Anson.
won't
Good morning.
stand for it. So I know a lot of you are following this. We do have, take a look at this, the perp walk off the private plane there on the tarmac in Florida. Take a look at this. This was moments ago.
Getting pulled out.
Now, DHS.
Yeah, there he is. We got Prez up at the building as well. Great to see you.
Saying on Monday of this week, a truck driver accused of making an illegal U-turn that killed 3 people in Florida was in the country illegally.
Wow.
You see him there. Harjinder Singh. He made the illegal turn last Tuesday from northbound lanes of Florida's Turnpike.
You know, I actually think I saw that. Is there a video or something? I think I saw a video, but it may be someone else doing that ordeal, because someone doing a U-turn or making a left or a right, you know, some people have cut their trucks real hard to the right, but they're all the way in the left lane to get themselves wide enough to get around the corner, and then they cut off some cars, and then they get killed by running into the trailer, right? We've seen stuff like this before, but I don't know if I saw a video specifically on this. I can't pinpoint that yet, but I'd have to look at it.
About 50 miles north of West Palm Beach. That's according to the Florida Highway Patrol. A minivan was unable to avoid the truck's trailer, which was blocking the northbound lanes. 2 passengers in the minivan died at the scene, and the driver died at a hospital. Singh and a passenger in his truck were not injured. Now, much of his immigration history was not immediately clear Monday, including his country of citizenship and whether and when he obtained legal status. Florida authorities said he entered the U.S. illegally from Mexico in 2018.
Coming in 18. Well, listen, these motherfuckers, no matter who's in office, no matter who's in power, it don't matter if it would have been Biden or someone, dude, they just do that if they want to. If they want to get here, they're going to do it. It's fucked. But they need to be handled accordingly when they're found out and spotted here in the United States. All right, motherfucker, you're not legal. So we're going to deport you instead of, hey, let me give you a CDL so you can work and drive here and kill our people.
He's a native of India. DHS said Monday, though, he was in the country illegally.
Oh, man, there was a video. Maybe I did see it.
So Collins, the Florida lieutenant governor, did not elaborate on why Singh was able to fly to California after the August 12th crash on Florida's Turnpike. The U.S. Marshals arrested him Saturday, last weekend, in Stockton, California. And that is why he has been extradited there to Florida. So had to get this on your radar. I know a lot of you are following this story. It's an important story to tell. Just a little bit more of the background. Take a look at this. You see him there after Marshals arrested.
You know, I actually think that you did send it to me, and that's where I saw it. Maybe. I can't remember.
On Saturday in Stockton, California. Now, the lieutenant governor of Florida, Collins, personally escorted Singh onto an airplane today, holding the man's arm. You saw it. As he walked up the steps of the aircraft, Singh was accompanied by...
You know what's funny is he doesn't, with this hair and all this shit, the way he's just sitting there right now. I don't mean to sound like an idiot or an arrogant son of a bitch or ignorant or all three for all that matter. But this dude doesn't even look Mexican, bro. He doesn't even look Hispanic. This guy looks straight Arabic, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
4 other people, including a man in a jacket that read Police ERO. Now, that's a reference to Enforcement and Removal Operations, which is a branch of ICE. Now, Singh made the illegal turn, like I said, on the highway about 50 miles north of West Palm Beach. Now, Singh and a passenger in his truck, they were not injured. And again, Florida authorities saying Singh entered the U.S. illegally from Mexico in 2018. And according to Homeland Security...
What's up, Tiffany, by the way? Good morning to you, and happy Friday. We all made it, my man. Great to see you. Well, I meant to say that to Lee as well, to my man. But Tiffany, always appreciate you hanging out with us. We got Papa Penguin. I'm sorry, I just saw that. He's saying he's Indian, not Mexico. He's not Mexican. It's not Hispanic. So... Isn't he Indian? Wow, I didn't even know that. But he got extradited from from Mexico to the United States. So why was he in Mexico? Is he an actual Mexican resident? What's the deal here?
He obtained a commercial driver's license in California, which is one of 19 states, in addition to D.C., that issue licenses regardless of immigration status. Now, that's according to the National Immigration Law Center. So you see him there in court. Now, Collins saying today Singh never should have been issued a driver's license, calling the move unacceptable. Collins said Singh lacks basic English proficiency and did not know the road sign.
Yeah, that makes total sense right there, by the way, Bliss Chris, because that's something that we were exposing real early on, like last year. We were talking about the people that are coming through the border. Actually, it was maybe even a little longer, maybe a year and a half ago. I was like actually reviewing footage of the men and women and children that were coming across the border. And ironically, these motherfuckers weren't even Mexican. There was no women. And these men, supposedly, fighting age, by the way. This is not like senior citizens coming over 65, 50, 45. No, all these motherfuckers, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Young dudes and no family with them, nothing. They're coming in by themselves. This is what was coming into the country. And it's very true because most of them weren't Hispanic. It was shit like let's just say this guy, Indian. Some people were, actually, there was a lot of Chinese people that came in and immigrated through the southern border, as well as Somalians, Haitians, all sorts of people from around the world were abusing our border. But really, it wasn't them. It's not the border actual issue. That's the complicated part. It's what you do with the asylum laws. See, what happens is these people just come here. They don't even have to try to sneak in. They just get in and they claim asylum. And it's like, well, that's not how asylum actually is supposed to legally work. Why are you coming from India, bro? You know that there's the way that asylum actually works is you go to your nearest, safest country that you can go to. That's the way it's actually written internationally. That's like the rule. You don't come all the way across the Atlantic Ocean and you make it all the way up and you're skipping hundreds of different countries along the way and you're coming here. There's a specific reason for this shit. But I needed to go ahead and explain that because, yes, that is a huge issue and something that we've been talking about for a long time. Real quick, we got Brother Beezer coming in with the 13-month membership, man, saying, I like turtles. Well, I like turtles too. If you say you like turtles, shit. I like turtles. Brother Beezer, I really appreciate your contribution to the channel, man, and becoming a member and staying a member for 13 months, man. I'm very, very appreciative of that. Thank you for that. We got Brother Steve Easy up in the building as well, man. Great to see you, by the way. Good morning, good morning. We got Pablo as well. Good morning to you. We got Steve Posey, my man. As always, great to see you as well. We got Brother GEG over there on the West Coast, my man. Great to see you. Beezer, I just found a tortoise in my yard. Shit, that's cool. That's cool. Was he one of those real big motherfuckers? All right, back to this.
So this is yet another example of, yes, a story on illegal immigration, but also a story between a blue state and a red state, California and Florida. Hearing from Governor Gavin Newsom's press office responding on X that Singh obtained a work permit while Trump was president, though DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin disputed that, saying the federal government denied him a permit during Trump's first term back in September of 2020 and granted him one in June of 2021 under then President Biden. Now, a preliminary investigation by the Department of Transportation found that Washington State issued Singh a regular full-term commercial driver's license back in July of 2023. It's a type of license that people without legal status are not eligible for. So had to get this all on your radar here.
Real quick, something that I posted up on social media, and we got the ordeal there. We understand what's happening here. He's going to be ended up, getting charged, and we'll see what happens there with the prosecution. But nonetheless, let me go ahead and bring up one thing for you guys, something that I posted up yesterday on social media. This is another reason why you guys should be following me on social media. I actually get a lot of questions as an amputee. How does an amputee run? Let me go ahead and show you exactly how. And ladies and gentlemen, as an amputee, I don't run. I actually get a lot of questions as an amputee. How does an amputee run? Motherfucker, we ain't running. We ain't running from shit. All right, so let's go and get back into the business here. All right, we spent enough time on this whole piece of shit right here. Whole sack of pieces of shit. That's what we're dealing with. People that are coming over here illegally, then killing our people. Yeah, they're pieces of shit. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on into Gavin Newsom signs California redistricting plan countering the Texas GOP, which I think we saw this coming. Of course, any of this gerrymandering bullshit, now it's just going to be played wickedly, you know what I mean? Real quick, we got Brother Dallas up in the building. Shout out to my man. Great to see you, by the way. We got David Cassidy as well. Good morning, good morning. And yes, amputees run like a hopscotch king. And trust me, that's one game you do not want to try me in. I will fuck you up in some hopscotch. Shit. We got Hardwire 1%er as well, man. Good morning to you, kind sir. Great to see you. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of it. Real quick, we got Lappy as well, man. Good morning. Good morning. All right.
This is a temporary effort. Period. Full stop. We're caught. Constitutional amendment that changes congressional maps in 26, 28, and 30 and reverts back in 30 for a traditional census. I'm advocating for that. I'm supporting that. I believe in independent redistricting. And in the initiative, it affirms not only support for an independent redistricting, it calls for a national independent redistricting. So I don't know what
You're a retard.
more evidence you need, but that's what we're promoting. So from my perspective, as someone who just signed the maps and signed the special election, that's where I am. And I imagine the legislature.
You know, honestly, that's a really, really good question, Blair. This is regarding the previous story here. I'm curious if the families of the victims could sue Cali over the licensing issue. I think that they probably at least should try. I think they should at least try. I mean, I don't understand how anybody could get a driver's license if you're illegal here anyways. Okay, I remember Obama wanting to be like, well, you know, let's just give them licenses. Doesn't mean they're citizens and all this bullshit. I remember that whole rhetoric, and I still can't even believe that that was even considered. But then, see, this is the problem with doing something like this nicely for someone else. Now you get this guy who's an illegal. You give him fucking a CDL fucking license to go ahead and drive that truck. Yeah, I mean, I honestly would try to fucking sue him. I would.
In the same place.
That's insane.
Republican voters in California who are going to be about 10% of the congressional delegation when they're about 30% of voters in Morrison. What's your message to them being, disenfranchised?
They should speak up against their president and these authoritarian tendencies. They should be outraged by what Donald Trump has just done. Cause and effect, outraged by what's just happened with Greg Abbott and the Republicans in Texas.
Governor, what can we expect from your campaign?
You did say it, Steve.
It's going to be quick.
Well, it's our campaign. It's a collective effort, and
Man, he is speaking oddly slow. Let's go ahead and speed him up a little bit because I can't stand this fucker anyways. But let's go ahead and just speed him up.
just hundreds of thousands of people have already contributed to this cause. It's extraordinary. I've never seen, honestly, I've been doing this a long time, nothing I've ever experienced like this. People understand this is a five-alarm fire. People understand what's at stake in this country. And people are showing up. I told you I had 15,000 people on a quick Zoom just a moment ago. It's a remarkable moment, and people are really energized to be for something, to stand firm, to advance something, to organize around something.
You got 15,000 people that are watching you because they're fanboying over you. Doesn't mean shit. I'm going to be honest. 15,000 people. Dude, that isn't, I don't even know if there's, you got to understand, like there are tens and tens and tens of millions of people in California. There is a lot of people in California. You think your little 15,000 viewer thing is going to be some sort of landmark or something like that? Dude, like, stop the cap.
Stop the cap. Stupid.
At a time when so many people feel powerless and scared. I can't even imagine. People say, well, you
I
overstate
just got
before,
off a
there's
Zoom
no
call
authority.
that had 15,000 of my cocksuckers.
Really? Maybe in my privileged position, that may be the case. But if you're a member of the Latino community in Bell, California, I don't think it. I know it. I've been meeting with folks down there, scared to death to go to school, to go to a family member's funeral, walk their dog, go to the grocery store. That's happening here in America right now. It's sick. So this is an opportunity to be for something and stand for something and advance something. On Erik Menendez, was there a decision with the parole board?
Not
Okay, so I don't know. Yeah, you would have caught me without knowing that. So my understanding...
Real quick, what's up, Rob's neighbor? Great to see you, by the way. Good morning.
He's in front of the parole board today, and his brother is in front of the parole board tomorrow. The parole board goes through an independent process, well established. As you know well, I look at anywhere from 20 to 45 cases every single week. This will be one of many cases if they move forward and recommend their parole. If they reject it, it's an academic exercise, and then they will determine whether or not they go back in front of the parole board in 1 year, 2 or 3 years. That's their determination. I will make my determination based on the facts, well established. And as you know well, we don't accept every recommendation of the parole board. We look at each case, we'll send it back en banc, which means we'll send it back to a larger cohort.
Yeah, I did see that, Steve. I did see that. I guess Gavin Newsom called Tom McDonald gay, or insinuated that he's gay, and clapped back on that song, and that's funny.
the parole board to take a second look if we have questions.
To me, that's political satire. I love anybody that's like an actual political satirist because I find humor in that extremely.
Or will simply reject on the basis of the facts. One thing I haven't done, and I think this is important, is I have not watched any documentary. I have not watched anything that has come out on the Menendez brothers, and I very intentionally avoided that in expectation and anticipation that this might land on my desk. So the facts themselves will speak for themselves. Not my opinion, not what's on TikTok or what's on YouTube, or not what you or others may be saying about these two individuals. I'll look at them on that basis of the facts and the presentation and the reports provided by the parole board if this lands on my desk.
The facts are very set. What are the factors that you consider?
And then he just walks off. He just fucking just stormed out. Okay, well, Donald Trump puts out a tweet, or a Truth Social, rather. Gavin Newsom is way down in the polls. He is viewed as the man who is destroying the once great state of California. I will save California. President Donald J. Trump. All right. We don't need to go any further in that whole ordeal to be quite fucking real. Let me go see what time we're at. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get into Erik Menendez denied parole for murders of parents. So I remember, I think yesterday or the day before, Steve, I can't remember. It was probably a couple days ago. We were talking about, do we think that this guy's going to be let out? You know, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised by anything. I mean, honestly, at this point, I've just gotten to the point that, I mean, anybody's capable of getting out at this point. It's just kind of fucked. But nonetheless, he was denied parole for murders of his parents. So let's go ahead and go into this story. Let's figure out the
And welcome back here
details
to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Remember, about this time last night, we were previewing for you what was taking place today there in California, the parole hearing for Erik Menendez. Remember, his brother's parole hearing taking place tomorrow. That's Lyle Menendez. We are learning.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
Some breaking news at the moment about the result of Erik's hearing. This from the Pool Reporter covering this, that Erik Menendez has been denied parole after a nearly 10-hour hearing. He can come before the board again within 3 years.
Dude, how was it even close to 10 hours of a hearing? Bro, why would they even fucking consider it for that long? I just don't, I don't know. What a waste of 10 hours. Could have told you no in fucking 30 seconds.
So this is breaking as we speak right now. And we've been covering this story from the very beginning. Or should I say from the very beginning of some of their efforts to have their convictions vacated, to get resentenced. Remember, their resentencing efforts were successful earlier this year. Both the brothers were serving life
good morning.
in prison without the possibility of parole. A judge granting them a reprieve earlier this year, reducing their sentences to life in prison up to 50 years with the possibility of parole. But this is what we know. The parole board panel today voting to reject the release of Erik Menendez, who, as you know, alongside his brother Lyle, they have spent more than 35 years behind bars for the murders of their parents, Kitty and Jose, back in 1989. So we'll have to wait and see if the same conclusion will be reached tomorrow for Erik's brother Lyle. That parole hearing taking place tomorrow. Now, because parole was denied, the panel must provide a reason for the denial and set a new hearing date. The proposed decision of the hearing panel is not final until it goes through a review process by the Board of Parole Hearings. Now, if there's a tie amongst the board members, the full board will then review the transcript and records to determine the outcome. If the parole grant stands, it is then sent to Governor Gavin Newsom for final approval.
Wow.
Now, Nima Rahmani, our legal analyst and friend, former federal prosecutor, had been saying that we don't essentially know how Governor Gavin Newsom will fall on these decisions here. Now, if the flip side of this happened today, if he was granted parole, the ultimate decision lies with the governor. So Newsom could theoretically
overrule and deny it himself, but he wouldn't do that. He'd probably just bend over and allow these two to fuck him.
Disapprove of the parole board's recommendation. So remember, this is just a recommendation by the board. But Erik Menendez has been denied parole by the board after a hearing. Remember, as of just several months ago, this entire process was not available to the brothers because they were serving life in prison without the possibility of parole. That was changed in the resentencing phase granted by a judge there in Southern California earlier this year.
Welcome back, Skunk.
So we'll have to wait and see whether or not any of the parties in this speak on camera, both for and in favor and in opposition to it. Remember, they have a lot of allies, supporters, family members, especially in the wake of some of these popular docuseries and fictional representations of them.
Well, what ends up happening is it gets onto the media, and these guys bring it up and start talking about it, and then they wonder why shit goes viral, and why all of a sudden people now didn't know who they were, and they have no emotional tie to the fucking case, and they're just like, oh no, yeah, no, I support them, and I do this. I mean, dude, that's social media, bro. So unfortunately, you bring shit to light and you start talking about it a lot, it's going to be a topic in media, and a lot of people love to sit there and talk about shit like that, and I just don't understand why, but people do, Real quick, we got Provo up in the building. Shout out to my man, by the way. The mugshots make it look like they would make the be safe in the community. Yeah, that is fucking hilarious, bro. If you look at their eyes in that mugshot that you're specifically talking about, Provo, this one, you can just tell. Honestly, let's just be real. These guys are fucking psychopaths. You know what I mean? These guys are fucking out of their mind. That's what I can tell you. You know what I mean? Anyways, let's go ahead and skip ahead here and see what we can get here.
Docuseries on the entire saga was released, brought their case back into the fore here, into the cultural conversation. So we're learning a little bit more here from what the commissioner of the parole board said. Remember his name, Robert Barton. So James Quealy there with the LA Times, citing the commissioner, citing Erik's multiple rule violations in prison, including the use of cell phones, drugs, allegedly aiding a gang and attack scheme, and 2 instances of violence, all of that.
That's all about normal in prison, though. Let's just be honest. Cell phones, everyone uses cell phones in prison, bro. Everyone. Most people do have some sort of drug of choice that they like, whether that's alcohol or like weed. You can go all out and get all sorts of shit. It's easier to get shit in the fucking pen than it is to get out in the street, because it's all around you. It's all around you. Allegedly aiding a gang and a tax scheme. That's kind of wild. And 2 instances of violence. Well, if they've been in there since 95 or whatever it is, 99 or whatever, only 2 instances of violence is actually pretty decent, but they were as the aggravating factors to the violent case instances. Okay, interesting.
Aggravating factors.
What's up, James?
Really going on to report this.
Great to see you, by the way. Another fantastic YouTuber, James Life Talk. Great to see you, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday morning so far.
This likely forecasts poorly for Lyle Menendez tomorrow.
Dragon Classic, good morning.
He says and notes this, that the brothers still have a path to immediate relief if Governor Newsom were to grant them clemency. So I'm not entirely sure kind of the track record of, how often Governor Newsom or just governors in general follow the recommendations of their respective states' parole boards. But this is something that we have been
shit. Yeah, I get you. What's up, Get Some? Great to see you, by the way.
This ultimately rests in the hands of Newsom. He can decide either way. But now that Erik has been denied parole, he can come up for parole again in 3 years' time. So I'm saying there's still a chance.
So he can get parole. He is eligible in 3 years again. What's going to change in 3 fucking years of your decision that you made here now that you're waiting to see in 3 years? You're making the decision based off of what? 2 aggravated violent things that happen in prison. They're not serious about the fucking cell phone shit or the drugs or any of that shit. That's standard procedure. Yeah, it's written up in the fucking book and shit, but they don't actually care about that shit. What do they actually care about? Well, the actual case. So nothing's going to change in 3 years then. So let's just go ahead and deny the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Completely. And he's uneligible now,
For Erik in 3 years' time. Or depending on what Governor Newsom does. We're waiting to get some reaction from Newsom's office on this. Remember, this is just breaking here. Erik Menendez of the Menendez brothers, convicted, serving time for the murder of their parents back in 1989, has been denied parole. His brother's parole hearing tomorrow. And just I want to set the scene for you. Remember, in their entire...
What's up, Go Fast? My man, great to see you, by the way. From my outside perspective on the Menendez brothers, getting out might be more of a punishment than staying in. They were kids, quote unquote, and now are much older kids raised by the prison system. Yeah, no kidding, Go Fast. Great observation there.
Incarceration going on now, what? Almost 40 years? They've never come before a parole board that was not available to them based on their original sentence. They were resentenced earlier this year. That's why we're talking about this story.
96.
Now, a lot of their allies and supporters in the press, in the legal community, their friends and family, I think we're expecting a different outcome. I think it's safe to say they've been extremely bullish on this prospect that they would be granted parole. Remember, famed criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos,
So
he
far,
represents
so
the
good,
family's
James.
interests. He has spoken in front of the cameras many, many times, quite optimistically about their chances.
Hanson.
But that is the news at this hour. It's a little past the 7 o'clock hour here on the West Coast. Had to get that in. I think
You be good out there, Brother Steve. I always appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us, my man. We'll see you on the flip side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into one of the main topics here of today. We have a couple of updates on this as we go here going forward. We're also going to be getting into the DOJ that is supposed to be handing over the Epstein files to Congress. Today is the day that I told you guys on Monday and Tuesday that we would be coming back and discussing this on Friday when we get more information, and we did get a little bit of more information, so we're going to show you guys that here in a minute. First, we're going to get into FBI raids former Trump advisor John Bolton's home. This is Trump's previous, I guess, one of his actual advisors. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting, and I know that the guy went out and was like anti-Trump and stuff like that. And listen, man, I really don't give a shit. But I don't think it's you got to understand if you start doing something legally on one side of the equation, expect that same type of treatment to happen on your side. It's going to happen back to you. You know what I mean? Once you set a precedence like this, then it's going to happen on the other side. So, I don't know. This is a rough ordeal here. Anyways, let's get into this.
Welcome back here on
This
Live
was
Now
his
from
national security advisor or whatever back in the, his first term.
Fox, 7:42 on the East Coast and 4:42 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I'm here to bring you all of your top stories, breaking news, and live events from across the country and across the world. I do want to get you right back to this breaking news that we were following right before the break, as the FBI has now reported that the FBI is currently raiding John Bolton's home. We could actually see a short time ago as those FBI agents were walking through the front door. Now, the New York Post first reporting this exclusively, saying that FBI agents raided former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton's D.C. area home this morning in a high-profile national security probe. Federal agents busted into Bolton's house in Bethesda, Maryland around 7 a.m. local time. So
We got Christopher Collins. Also got to go to work, my man. Always appreciate you hanging out with us. Another Alabama's finest, by the way. Hopefully you enjoyed the rest of your
really within
day,
the last
concert.
hour here, and they're obviously still there. As you can see, they're zooming in from the camera view that we have right outside of the home. This was an investigation that was ordered by FBI Director Kash Patel, a Trump
So
administration.
Kash Patel made the order on this. Obviously, it would have to be of someone of Kash Patel's, status to make this call. But because he definitely knew this is going to be a political thing as well, not just they knew, he knew that this is going to get into politics. So
Official telling the Post, but asking to remain anonymous. Now, what's interesting is right before this took place, FBI Director.
Whoa, we got Brother Straight Jacket up in the building. Straight Jacket is alive. Yes, sir, Glare. Yeah, he is still alive. We make sure my man's still alive. Shit. Great to see you, by the way.
Director Kash Patel
Morning.
posted this cryptic message on social media as he said, quote, "No one is above the law. FBI agents on a mission." No explanation. It's not clear if that is connected, though it does appear to be, as again.
That's funny. Get some. He says they were looking for Michael Bolton. Something about crappy music. That is a W comment, by the way.
Dom DeMarco
That's funny.
And we have this live image outside of John Bolton's home, the former Trump national security advisor. This is over in Bethesda, Maryland, so the D.C. area.
And yes, and I did actually post the location, as I always do. Anytime, little tiny details, but like anytime I have a main topic that I'm talking about, I'll always post the location of where on Instagram, by the way. When I'm advertising the show, I show exactly where it's happening at, the exact town or city or whatever. But nonetheless, we have an update regarding this whole thing, but we're going to have a quick little intermission in between. So here, we're going to go into the DOJ that is supposed to be handing over those Epstein files to Congress. Before we do, we got a little PSA,
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. Real quick, we got Nyakus up in the building saying hello again, beautiful souls. Great to see you, by the way. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning, your Friday morning so far. We got Steve Posey saying the problem, Mike, is all these fools write books after they've been out of office. They include classified information. And I do agree. If there's legitimate classified information that's out in the book that is still classified, still zipped up, kind of thing, then yeah, at that point, bro, you can't just be talking about shit like that just because you're out of, office or you're not in duty anymore. You can't just spill the beans on our moves and shit. You know what I mean? You can't do that. But that should go for both sides of the equation, as always. And if at this point they see that this is an unbalance here, then yeah, I agree. If classified information is getting out there, I don't think that that's okay, to be honest. I don't think that it's okay to be fucking writing books or getting on the internet and talking classified shit when you were hired for that position, bro. You know what I mean? Doesn't even matter. Exactly. They take an oath. And that's what's sad. All these politicians take oaths. And they all take, they do the whole, hand on the book kind of thing in court or in whatever. And they're sitting there just lying through their fucking teeth. It's like uncanny, bro. It's uncanny. It's just like, I can't handle it sometimes, bro. The amount of lies that just happen from government itself is just insane. It's insane. And this is why conspiracy theories happen, by the way, is a lack of information or truth from the government. And so how does conspiracy theories happen? Well, boom, that's exactly why that happens. But we over here, we don't try to do any conspiracy theories, honestly. I just run off a straight fact of what's just happening, and that's why we present what we do here. Anyways, we're going to go into the whole Epstein files.
Now, I do want to stick with political news here, as today the Justice Department is expected to turn documents over to Congress from its investigation into sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. That's according to Congressman James Comer, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, saying department officials told him they will start handing over the Epstein files today in compliance with the subpoena the committee issued this month. A spokesperson for the committee said lawmakers plan to make public redacted versions of the documents they received from the DOJ, but did not specify a timeline for all of this. There is a lot to discuss here, including the political stance on all of this.
Sadly, you're very right, Frank. I can buy you damn near fucking everything. The only thing that isn't up to negotiation, well, now I don't even know if we can say shit like this, but I was going to say, if you're in prison, you know what I mean? You can't buy yourself out. But some people definitely buy themselves before they get in, kind of thing. It's a two-tiered justice system, and it has nothing to do with race, creed. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has all to do with financial power. And you're very right, Frank. It's unfortunate, but everything has a price, bro. Everything.
I do want to bring in David Grasso, political analyst, to discuss everything related to the files. Obviously a story, David, that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
This won't be the last time I'm here talking about this case, because this is just the very beginning of something we're going to see going into the fall.
What? And okay, so let me give you a little advice, David Grasso or whatever. If you're going to try to connect with people and be a political analyst, such as myself, I would not I would lose the smile, especially the fake smile thing that you do in the middle of you talking. Very, very, I don't know, creepy. I don't know, man. Look at those eyebrows, like all that shit. Like, why are you gay? First of all. But second of all, bro, like you gotta lose that smile. That's scary. That's actually scary.
About this case, because this is just the very
You're
beginning of
smiling while talking. You look weird.
something we're going to see going into the fall.
And first off, that is very true. But first off, I do want to ask you, there's so much to this case and the situation. Can you start by kind of breaking down the basics here of what is expected to happen? I know that is very legal, but did want to ask you kind of what we're dealing with here.
Okay, so this oversight committee basically subpoenaed these records, and Speaker Mike Johnson wanted to avoid the issue.
Maybe he was one of those test characters where they put a whole bunch of, like the video game companies, they put a whole bunch of sensors on you so they can get like real reactions. So they have to really emphasize every single word like these, you know what I mean? And maybe he did do that. Who knows? Let's not be overly judgmental, Papa Penguin. Shit.
Stop the cap.
But in a rare bipartisan moment, both
Just
Democrats
kidding.
and Republicans came together to subpoena these records. Now, Pam Bondi, who you saw in your last video over there with the National Guard in D.C., wanted grand jury testimony to be released as well. But as any lawyer would tell you, that's extraordinarily rare, and 3 judges have agreed not to reveal that grand jury testimony. But that's only really 70 pages. The other 10,000 documents surrounding this case.
I can't take anything serious right now. I can't take this guy serious. I'm not even following along completely. Like, I'm getting half of it, and then I keep getting distracted by his fucking face.
Are now headed to this subcommittee
God
in Congress,
damn, look at this.
where it will be heavily redacted, and eventually that will be released to the public.
Why do you have the creepiest, weirdest fucking dude talking about Epstein? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Will happen, we don't really know how heavy those redactions will be.
Where'd
Likely
they get
very
this
heavy,
guy?
a la JFK files, if you're a fan of that entire case. And really, fundamentally, what we're looking for in that committee is possible deposition of Ghislaine Maxwell, who you just saw in that photo, and additionally, depositions of other powerful people, possibly. But really, fundamentally, we don't know yet, and we're waiting to find out.
I did want to ask you kind of from a political standpoint here before we get...
George, it probably is. You're probably spot on accurate right there. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way. You guys don't have to like all the craziness that's happening around the world, but you guys can like it for me and my takes and what I do here. You know what I mean? I very much appreciate that. It helps out the show, and it's free, okay? And I very much appreciate your guys' laborious work making sure that that like button has been pressed. We got Believe in Yourself as well, my man. He must be suffering from vax brain. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Definitely on his 10th booster. All right, back to this.
Into more of the legal jargon. How significant is this move here when you talk about politics in general?
Well, it is very significant. So we're very constrained by this process. The subcommittee is constrained by the process because you can't really name and shame people who were never indicted, right? Think about it. If your name were mentioned in that case and nothing came of it, would you want your name dragged through the mud in the media? No. And really, the DOJ needs to preserve its ability to carry out future prosecutions as well as protect those who are never charged with a crime. Now, that really pushes up against the public's desire to see more transparency in this case. So what we're going to see is a very...
So basically, so far, what I'm getting off of this is the federal judge declined the original transcripts. Of course, now that is the 3rd judge that has denied these grand jury transcripts. So real quick, let me go ahead and read what it states down here. And unfortunately, it doesn't fucking say the exact damn, I hate when they don't do that. They don't add the exact thing that's happening. The DOJ will begin providing members of Congress with files related to Jeffrey Epstein this week, according to a House Republican leader. This was today off of Bloomberg Business, off of X. All right, so that's interesting. So I thought today was the day that they were supposed to be handing over these whatever they have on Epstein, whatever files they have. It doesn't have to be the transcripts. I'm just saying whatever files. I thought that was what we were all waiting for this week. This whole week from Monday, we were talking about it. Okay, we'll revisit on Friday when they give up the files. Now they're pushing it down the road again another week.
Jay will begin providing members of Congress with files related to Jeffrey.
Real quick, before we get into it, we got Get Some sending in $2, my man. Appreciate that. Saying to recognize the hardworking mods. Hey, man, I very much appreciate you making it rain like that. And supporting the channel for real, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, definitely some sort of weird shit, dude. I don't know. Again, nothing surprises me anymore, bro.
Epstein this week, according to a House Republican leader. That is, of course, James Comer, who did make those comments. What type of historical precedent exists for this? Do we see things like this happening?
The Mueller report is the most recent one.
Oh, shit. Real quick, Nayakus says, Mike almost has 10,000 subs. Yeah, that's right. And saying congratulations on your success. I very much appreciate that, by the way, Nayakus. Yes, we've been hard at work day by day, just like the theme song says. Absolutely. We have a good time doing it, though.
And really, the JFK files would be another one, right? And if you look at the JFK files, it's just black boxes over everything. And again, it was to protect unindicted people. It was to protect the Justice Department's ability to prosecute future crimes and really to protect their process by which they investigate. So that is what you're going to see. But you can imagine from a public perspective, if you have that PDF when it's released and it's mostly black boxes, people are going to say, hey, that's not really transparent. That's not really what I was looking for.
Steve Posey, it's all good, my man. I always appreciate you.
I wanted to see more transparency. And this is where this runs up against politics. People in the political sphere threw a fit. If you look on Twitter or whatever it's called now, X, people were saying, hey, we elected Donald Trump to see transparency in this case. But unfortunately, the Trump administration is very constrained by the legal process.
Well, not only constrained by the legal process, but as well as kind of fighting the system of getting it out.
And it's really hard.
But now Trump can sit there and say, well, no, I asked the DOJ to hand over the grand jury transcripts. So it's the judges that are denying it now. And so he can blame it on the judges now.
To explain to the general public why structurally this is a difficult task for everyone involved.
I like that you said whatever it's called, because I always still call it Twitter and folks are like, no, it's X. So I did enjoy that. And before I let you go here, I want to ask you, you touched on this already, but next steps here, what should folks out there be watching for? It sounds as though they should be watching for heavily redacted documents with a lot of black markings on there.
Damn, you're absolutely right about that, Papa, in your analysis. He's saying we're not going to learn anything. They released a blatantly manipulated video. Trump is now saying there is no list. The diaper snippers won this one. Yeah, it's sad to see how that worked out and how it's been playing out. It's a shame. Real quick, we got Provo coming in with the $4.99 super chat or super sticker. I really appreciate that. He didn't even send in a message, man. Just showing a little love, man. I really appreciate you making it rain on the homie and for the channel. Appreciate that, kind sir. Great to see you and great having you here, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to learn anything else from this analysis. We're going to go ahead and move on into the final ordeal. FBI raids home office of former ex-Trump advisor John Bolton. Now, of course, we gave you guys the first half and the breaking news of what was happening there. But now we have the second half. This is the latest. This came out right before we went live. So the Associated Press is now involved, of course, and now is reporting FBI raids John Bolton's home and office. And, of course, they're going to have some updates here. So let's go ahead and hear out what's happening here.
In the meantime, we do continue to cover breaking news as we have been all throughout the morning. The FBI searching the Maryland home and Washington office of John Bolton, who served in President Trump's first administration as National Security Advisor. Now, the Associated Press is reporting that this is all part of an investigation into the handling of classified information. A lot to discuss and a lot to break down, so I do want to bring in Jack Jupin, a retired FBI supervisory special agent of the Joint Terrorism Task Force and the FBI SWAT team. He's also the CEO of Jupin International. And right now you are taking a live look here outside of that home in Bethesda, Maryland, where you can see the FBI agents are taking things in and out of that home. Jack, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Yeah, we were seeing that they were bringing in and out of boxes, these black boxes. I don't even know what they were, but they were about this big. They almost kind of look like this black box, but think of like an actual box, not a rectangle. That's basically that they were bringing in and out these black boxes.
With us and break it all down today.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, this is, You know, this
Right,
is a
get some.
quintessential raid that we would normally do. Normally we do it at 6 a.m. This one happened at 7. They're obviously hitting 2 locations, his residence and his office. The FBI is currently looking for, you know, as we mentioned earlier, they're looking for physical evidence. They're looking for computers, any kind of devices that may obtain classified information. It could be physical notes, handwritten. It could be documents that Mr. Bolton maybe maintained from his time in the government. And obviously looking at his computers, his laptops, and things such as that. So that's what's going on right now. That's what you're seeing on TV. The agents are, conducting this in accordance with, the order of the federal magistrate judge, which would have signed off on this, obviously, as well. This has been signed off.
And right now, real quick, while this guy wraps up his analysis on this whole thing, I'm going to be finding us someone to raid. So stick around for the raid, everybody. We always close out quick, so you guys aren't just sitting there waiting, kind of thing. But nonetheless, we're going to find someone to raid.
Highest levels of not only the FBI, but the Attorney General herself, Ms. Bondi. So this is what's happening. This is what's transpiring as you see it right now.
And the Associated Press, as we mentioned, is reporting that this is all related to classified information, the handling of all of that. I want to get your take on that because...
Yeah, because, he wrote about it and put it in his book.
As of right now, this isn't the first time we're hearing the name John Bolton associated with classified information, especially over the last several years.
Yeah, as we spoke earlier, Josh, handling classified information is a big deal. As I mentioned to you earlier, when we would walk even from the FBI office in Newark, New Jersey to the U.S. Attorney's office, if we even had secret information to transport over to the U.S. Attorney's office, it was like triple bonded. It was in a folder, then a binder, then a box.
Oh, man, real quick. 44 likes and 31 watching. That is a huge win for the Breakfast Club, man. You guys are fucking awesome. And yes, we found someone to raid, by the way. Stick around. You guys are going to be getting raided over there to Rob Knorr. He's a great political commentator as well as debater. I think he's a fantastic act over there, man. He's great people too. He's real humble as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and get finish this off and see what's happening.
It was protected at the highest level. Top secret information is never transported anywhere. You will come to us and you will sit in a skiff and you will look at that information. You can't print it out. You can't do any of that. You can look at it in a secure compartmental location. In this case here, there's top.
No, I don't stream to Rumble. I haven't. I only ever uploaded to Rumble. I never even live streamed to it, and that was back when Rumble first came out. But I should have a Rumble account that I stream to though, or a Kick or something like that. There should be something I should be building as well at the same time. But I'll get on that.
Secret information at his house. That's just, it's unheard of. It's not the kind of thing we do. Nobody in government should be doing or have the authority to do.
I did want to ask because not only is the FBI out there, we've also seen Montgomery County Police, other officials with different agencies. How does everyone kind of coordinate? Because the FBI, I would imagine, is kind of leading the charge to go in and collect all of this. But how do you communicate between agencies to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page there?
Yeah, and we are going to work with the locals. In my 23 years at the FBI, there's never really been very, very rare.
What is the cut for their donations? Because they got to make a little money off of it. But what do the Rumble rants come out to? Like, do they take like 10% or 5% or something like that?
Early, a situation where we do not notify local police or state police or the county officials and let them know what we're doing. We all have to work in concert. We all have to know, okay, the FBI is coming in there. Yes, the FBI will lead this investigation. It's a national security investigation. But that being said, we are always partnered up with our local, state, county officials, and that's very normal. So that's why
10% is fucking awesome, man. I wish that's what it was on YouTube, man. 30% is just so fucking brutal. And then I don't know if you guys know, but if you donate from an iPhone or an Apple product, when you donate, and you're using your Apple account or whatever, they also get 30%. So if you send in $100 super chat, which is $99.99 super chat on Apple, 30% goes to YouTube, then 30% goes to Apple. Then you get the rest. Now, if you do it off of an Android or if you do it off of your computer or whatever the case is, it's only 30%. So Isn't that shit crazy? That shit is fucking absurd, isn't it?
You're going to see other law enforcement out there, and they're going to, maintain a perimeter. They're going to maintain keeping the press away, keeping, other, looker on.
Nah, GEG, they got to make some sort of money on the transaction there. It's like a little rake. And 10% is great. I mean, I would way rather have 10% on a rake than 30, but their counter thing is like, well, you're on our platform where your discoverability is way better, so we're going to charge you for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's totally fucking brutal. But anyways.
People looking on, they're going to keep them away and just maintain, a presence while the FBI is conducting the search warrant.
Yes, I use StreamYard.
As of right now, we've been told by different officials there, the Associated Press reporting that Bolton hasn't been detained. He's not taken into custody. Is that fairly normal for a raid where you don't see somebody necessarily arrested right there?
Yeah, I mean, that's very common. You have two different kind of warrants, right? You have a search warrant, which is currently what you're seeing now, not only at his residence.
Well, no kidding.
But at his office as well.
Of course, anywhere this guy, they have warrants for all that shit, guaranteed.
But sometimes you'll have an arrest warrant accompanying a search warrant. In this case, that will not be the case.
Right. They don't have an arrest warrant at the same time as they have to find something to be able to now arrest him.
Now, the FBI is in the process of conducting a full investigation. I mean,
if they do find something, then of course he will be arrested. But anyways, all right. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the show, man. We're not going to find out anything more other than that. This is breaking news. It's just coming out. So, as we find more information, of course, you guys know that I give you guys those updates as we go. We do this every day. Well, not every day. We have one day off per week, which is Sunday. We got to have one day off to ourselves. But listen, we will be back with the news parts of stuff Monday. We do it Monday through Friday. And then tomorrow, you guys, it's Saturday tomorrow, so you guys know what that means. It's going to be the Breakfast Club only live stream. It's going to be a great time. All you guys that are members, make sure you guys tune in for it. We always have a fucking great-ass time. We definitely have some good laughs and get some crazy shit that goes on members only, man. It's going to be a great time. Chatting with Stack says, no days off, cut. That's right. Great to see you, man. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, much love, honor, respect to everybody. Thank you guys so much for making these very fucking shows happen and hitting that like button at the very end here. Humongous W to the chat. As always, chat always wins. Much love, honor, respect to everybody, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning for fucking members only. But if not, if you guys aren't members, we'll see you guys Monday morning for the rest of the chaos. You know what I mean? All right, much love, and God bless.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the